We were never rattled, ever, because we're always in the moment, always in the present, always extremely calm, always looking at the reality of the situation and not letting our emotions cloud our execution. I switched my mind to something else. I switched my mode into something else. Stone cold killer. You gotta put yourself in that cage. When I'm in that cage, bro, don't touch me. For me, it's the equivalent of Maximus Decimus Meridius in Gladiator picking up the dirt, smelling the dirt. It's go time.
Up before the dawn, ready for Judgment Day. A lethal underdog, walking on to make 'em pay. Woke up feeling dangerous. That stuff so contagious. We got 10 toes down, so let the haters say what they say.
If you ain't Argent Brown, you don't matter anyway. Woke up feeling dangerous. That's time.
We got that dog check. We found it a way you make the right bet. If you're down in our game, we give our last breath. One more play, and we'll make another name. We're ready for Judgment Day. Against the world. My city is on the brink tonight. We're about to go. I'm hearing the crowd begin to rise in stereo. Sky's bringing on, we're getting in off the lake. Thunder rolls. And all the people shouting out a name. Cleveland, born to fight and believe in. We ride or die, hear 'em screaming. Every boy and girl. Cleveland against the world. Watch my city rock. Feel my city roll. Watch my city rock. We go Cleveland, born to fight and believe in. We ride or die, hear 'em screaming. Every boy and girl. We are Cleveland, born to fight and believe in. We ride or die, hear 'em screaming. Every boy and girl. Every boy and girl. Against the world.
All righty, everybody. We got a win. We got a win. It felt weird. I'm not gonna lie, it felt kind of odd, especially with Jarvis going out early. Baker with the injury, obviously he was injured. Lots of interesting stuff, right? but we survived. You know, we survived. We got lucky. Basically, half the Texans team got injured, and we were able to make it out of that game without shedding a loss, I would say. And I think I speak for everybody that this one feels a little weird. Dad, how do you feel?
Ooh, well, I'm sweating it out there until the fourth quarter we took over, but the loss of Landry, hopefully Odell is ready to go next week so we can swap them out. The defense played okay, but not great. Not as good as I thought they should play and up to their caliber.
Right.
Delpit, I guess, had a very good game. Be interesting to see what his PFF is.
Yeah.
For his first game, that type of thing. I thought the play calling was suspect at times. Baker played pretty good. 2 bad throws. One of them was an interception. Chubb, very good. Hunt played okay, nothing great. Miles and Clowney, not much of a factor. They were double teamed. Tyrod was getting his out of his hands early. A backup you expect to win. He throws an interception. He still comes back to get him back in the ball game.
Yeah.
I don't think we played as well as we did against Kansas City.
No.
It was a letdown, you might say. This is not a Super Bowl team. It's not a Super Bowl effort by any means. The defense and Joe Woods played way too soft. And those are my thoughts. I think with this one under our belt, and as not as badly as we played, but as mediocre as we played,
Right.
even though the Bears are at home next week, that's going to be a very tough game because they play a very physical game, Chicago. And if they play a solid game, we're in trouble for next week, I would think. It'll be a nail biter as well. They won. They beat Cincinnati today rather convincingly, I think.
They made it close at the end. It was Cincinnati scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. It was a 20-7 Bears victory over the Bengals. So
sometimes the final score doesn't reflect, what happened in the game.
Right.
Like you said, it was like every other play, one of the Houston guys was going down. Very physical. It probably was warm out there. I didn't see too much cramping. I just saw people like Tyrod. I thought when he went in the end zone, when he scored that touchdown, he beat Myles Garrett around the outside, that he pulled something.
Yeah, you called it.
He played through it. And then when he had another awkward one, when they got the ball back again, I could see he pulled up and he jumped a little bit. I thought he was hurt.
Cleveland BCI says Tyrod getting hurt has won 2 games for us. Just a quick shout out to people in chat. Kyle Liu, Cleveland BCI, Steve Z, Isaiah Cassina, Derek Jones is here. We got Steve Z, Mr. Roll Up 10. We got Jackie Haynes is in the house. Guts is here. Gary Washington. Gary's here for us. Rebecca Halen. Sarah's in the house. Sarah, who is a member now. Sarah, your alert did not come up, but I see that you're a member because I see the little Brownie Postgame thing next to your face. So welcome. Sarah's our 3rd paid member of Brownie Postgame. That little join button that's down there at the bottom. If you guys want to be a paid member and have access to all the fun emojis and everything, be a recognized member. And I am going to add everybody, by the way, to the bottom ticker. I just haven't done that yet. Go ahead and subscribe with that join button. If not, and if you don't want to subscribe, totally okay with us. The only thing I ask you to do is click the like button. Just give us a like. That's it. Just a like. It's free. Other than that, Sabo Apparel, we're going to give away a Sabo Apparel t-shirt, so everybody hang tight with us. You'll have a chance to win. You have to have clicked the like button, though, for your chance to win. So click that like button right now. Thrive Fantasy, if you're into DraftKings, if you're into all the fantasy, FanDuel type stuff, check out Thrive Fantasy. There's a little QR code. You can snap and sign up there. Those are awesome guys. They're big fans of the channel. We're working with them this year. Schlegel Law and dogwoofs.com are also big sponsors of the channel. I'm sure John will be in here at some point. as well. So yes, thank you guys. Appreciate it. This one felt interesting, right? You know, in the very beginning when Jarvis went down, my heart kind of sunk a little bit because right when he got hit, I was like, ooh, he got hit pretty hard. That was not a great one. New member, Browns fan, 1977. Welcome to the Brownie Post family, the Brownie Post fam. We have another tier 1 member. Appreciate that. All love as always to all the members. Start Browns fan. You got anybody who's a member? Go ahead and start using those emojis, baby. But when Jarvis went down, it kind of felt a little weird. Then we drive down. And we had that, you know, they stopped us, and then they muffed the punt, which kind of gave us like a little bit of love or a little bit of momentum back, right? And yeah, it was just an odd game all the way up to the Baker interception that Baker tries to be a hero, and he does that. He's going to learn the hard way. These guys are big, strong, and fast. And if you're gonna throw an interception like that, you're gonna try to make a tackle. I don't mind having him get in the way. I just don't like to see him try to make a tackle. I think that was really dumb. And
interesting to see what his injury is and how serious it is. I imagine they'll rest him during the week, just to not put any pressure on that left. If it was the right arm, I think we'd be in serious trouble.
Right.
We didn't lose anybody else, I don't think, besides Landry. So that was good news as opposed to Houston. They must have lost 6 or 7 players in and out, maybe 10 throughout the game that got injured. And maybe half of them made it back and half of them didn't. When you lose your starting quarterback and you got to put in a kid, and then we put no pressure on the kid except for that one sack. And of course, he fumbles the ball and they pick it up. But still, I'm screaming at Mike saying, where is the pressure? Put some pressure on this kid. Put some hands in his face. Don't rush 4 guys and drop 7. And he's still picking out guys wide open because he's got so much time. And if you make it to that level and you give a guy a lot of time looking over the middle, he can pick somebody out underneath. Yeah. So we're lucky to get away with this. If we had played a top-notch team, we would have got beat today. We just happened to get the Texans today. We play this way against Chicago next week, we'll lose. So
very possible.
The Fancy's got his work cut out for him.
Well,
I think we can win. I think we can beat him, but you can't bring your C game to the table and expect to win.
No, not against it. Not against a very competent team. I mean, the Texans lost a lot of their guys to injury, including their quarterback, Tyrod. And you could tell that this Davis Mills kid obviously did not have the reps, right, coming to this game. He just didn't look like he was prepared, right? So, unfortunately, Tyrod gets hurt, and he comes in. But I got to tell you, Tyrod was managing that game very well up to the point where he got injured. He was managing the game well and doing what Tyrod does. And our offense was we were going back and forth, right? But I still think, and you know what? I don't know what how the chat feels, but the interception that Baker threw, Anthony Schwartz definitely short-armed it, but Baker also put it in a position where Anthony Schwartz could short-arm it, right? So it's a little bit of blame on both of those guys. You shouldn't.
He made no attempt to tackle him after he short-armed it.
Yeah. So it was like that. That's what Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry and guys like that are going to give you. And our offense, we don't have the same offense without those guys out there. I think we're still very dangerous. And guys, at the end of the game, when your defense is tired and you have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt going ping pong and back and forth off the field, I mean, if we get up in games, I don't care if it's the Chiefs, I don't care who it is, we get up in a game, we're going to be able to run you down, right? But then if we give them enough time, that was the only thing. Even you said it, it's like, it's still a lot of time to give them, right? And that is the thing. Yeah, I was giving it to Joe Woods on Twitter. I was like, I just don't understand why there was no pressure applied. And then finally he brings Grant Delpit, and then he starts dialing up the pressure, and we start getting to him, and guess what? Good things happen. right? So I do not and then Dad, you even said it. We're like, you're dropping 7, 8 guys into coverage, and he's still finding somebody wide open, right? And the one deep pass that he threw, he had Denzel Ward and John Johnson beat. The kid just missed him. That kid was like Cooks, I guess his name. He had that. It was there. So he's playing this crazy mid-level prevent zone, and then he still gets beat deep.
Hey, where's Stefanski? Where's his game plan with him to say you need to change it up? And why all of a sudden at the end of the game you bring a blitz and they get to him? I mean, it's just
talk about being risk averse, right? Whereas remember Greg Williams? Greg Williams, I mean, he was aggressive on defense, and that was a bad team.
And he had no talent. Yeah,
right. He had no talent, and Greg Williams, other than putting peppers in the parking lot, he was aggressive. You know, I think that's pretty impressive. Going down the other NFL scores. Hey, new member David Smith. What's going on, David? Welcome. Wonder if that's David Smith from Australia. I don't know. Maybe he'll have to let me know. It looks like the Patriots took care of the Jets easily. The Bills destroyed the Dolphins. And Dad, did you say that Tua got hurt in that game or no?
Yeah, ribs. I think he got taken out. I don't know if it was in the first half or beginning of the second, but as soon
Murdered
as
the
I
Dolphins.
he said that game is over.
Murdered the Dolphins 35-0. The Rams barely got by the Colts 27-24. The Panthers just annihilated the Saints 26-7. Broncos easily take out the Jags. On paper we look like we really easily handled the Texans, but I think we all watched that game and it was much more interesting than the final score led to believe. 49ers, Dad, you were correct on that. You called that one. 49ers 17-11 against the Eagles. Raiders are quietly just starting to personally destroy the AFC North. And then the Thursday night game, which Washington won. And so we have the NFL just loves putting the Ravens on primetime games. How many games in a row? How many weeks in a row do we have to watch the freaking Ravens play primetime games? They play the Chiefs tonight, and hopefully they get destroyed, though. Chiefs defense is a little bit suspect, and although the Ravens have had a whole bunch of injuries, having Lamar Jackson is just an X factor that's almost you can't even do anything for. So right now the late games have begun. We've got the 4:25 game should be kicking off here in a second. Vikings are off to a 7-0 lead. Buccaneers off to a 7-0 lead over the Falcons. Vikings are playing the Cardinals. Cowboys, Chargers, Titans, Seahawks. We don't really care about any of those NFC games other than this one tonight, Chiefs, Ravens,
Right.
which should be, hopefully we can all be big Chiefs fans tonight, right? So if we're the only team to win, we'll be obviously tied for first place, I believe, in the division.
Sure, 1-1.
I think we're tied with the Steelers, right? First place in the division.
Well, Steelers are 1-0. Now they're 1-1, so we're tied with them. The Bengals won the first game.
Yeah, Bengals are 1-1.
They're 1-1. And the best of Baltimore can do is go 1-1. So
yeah.
we're tied for first.
Tied for first place. Not bad. And you know what? That's kind of where we wanted to be, right? We had the reality was it was going to be very difficult. David Smith is Northeast Ohio. Okay, there's another David Smith from Australia, but welcome David Smith from Ohio. Welcome. Thank you for becoming our newest member. Founding members. We're going to have the first 10 of them. So yes, thank you everybody. I gotta actually create that. Dad, what were your thoughts on how the offense played today?
They could have been better. They didn't get to the serious ground game with Chubb and Hunt until the second half. They had that one drive, and then Chubb was Chubb when he ran it in for 26 yards. They went from under 100 to like 156 on one drive for their running game, so that was good. Baker was Baker throwing the ball. Like I said before, he played very well. He had 9 in a row at one point. Then he threw a bad one. Then he threw an interception. Then he got back on track again. But Baker's that way. Baker's streaky. Just when you think he's terrible, he throws 20 in a row. Higgins caught a couple of passes for the first time. So he got Schwartz was like non-existent.
Right.
He didn't do much. They didn't try to burn him down the field on anybody. Hooper made a couple of nice catches. Bryant made 1 or 2 catches that were good. And Njoku, I don't know, did they call his number very often?
I don't think I'm honestly. I'm gonna have to go to the box score because I don't remember if Njoku caught a pass. David Njoku caught. He did. He caught 2 passes for 18 yards. I think they were just short ones.
Right.
Yeah, it was. You know who was probably the player of the game though, outside of just Nick Chubb being Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt being Kareem Hunt. Player of the game for me, it was Demetric Felton.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he had a game. A couple of those runs he had, were classic. Try to get me down if you can. If you can't, I'm going to get 18 yards on you. And talk about having that kind of weapon behind, Hunt and Chubb. I don't think Johnson got to play at all in the backfield, did he?
I don't think so. I don't think he played.
Yeah. So it was good to see Wills out there played the whole game, wasn't hurt. We didn't lose any offensive linemen. That was good. And yet they were going left and right on the other side of the ball for some reason. I guess games go that way. Really disappointed with Miles and Clowney. This great twosome hasn't materialized in the first 2 games, that's for sure. So they got to do something to free those guys up a little bit, or have more pressure up the middle, or do more blitzes. That guy's got to worry about not only Miles coming, but the guy next to him from the corner. You can't block 2 people at the same time, especially Miles goes outside, a kid comes inside. They can do a lot of damage, but you got to take a risk. You don't take a risk, you get no gain. You got nothing to. You can't play to not lose, and that seems to be the way Joe Woods is characterizing his defense: play not to get burned. And they made, I think they said at one time going through the third quarter that they made 4 out of 5 third down conversions. When we thought they were getting off the field, they burned us. Tyrod did it. The kid did it to us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 4 times we could have, and they weren't always little short and one. They were like 12, 13 yards sometimes. I mean, I was just shaking my head. I mean, the defense has got to play better. There's too many other good teams with real good offenses out there that are going to chew us up.
Yeah.
Roethlisberger didn't have a great game, but he kept them in it. And Carr threw on the highlight film there. Carr threw a 70-yard touchdown pass over the top to seal the game. So I picked that one too. I thought the Raiders were going to give them a tussle. So of course I hate the Steelers, so I wouldn't pick them anyway, unless they're playing a high school team. But so my pick'em has been resurrected. I'll see how I do in the 4 o'clock games. And of course, I'm rooting for Kansas City tonight. I want to see them light them up, show us their weaknesses. I think it'll be a big upset if Baltimore beats Kansas City tonight. I think that'll send some shockwaves through. That just means everybody's beatable,
Yeah, absolutely. To be honest, I'm just glad that we got out of this game with a win.
Yeah.
We got all the fantasy people are going to be upset that Andy Janovich got a touchdown in the beginning, which is funny. And then then they gave him the ball again, and he's tripped over his own feet, which is just unfortunate.
Right.
Baker, Dad, don't look at the stats,
Mhm.
but what do you think Baker was attempts and completions wise today?
Ooh, I would say somewhere around 19 for 28.
19 for 21.
Ooh, wow.
He had two passes did not get caught. One was an interception, and the other was I don't know if I can.
10 yards over the guy's head.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're right. He threw it high. Two incompletions, and today feels weird. I don't know. It's an odd game. Plus Baker Mayfield with a running touchdown. So a running touchdown, a passing touchdown,
Well,
an
not only
interception.
that, but he had 3 or 4 plays where he made the first down after going back and then not finding anybody, pumping at least once.
Yeah.
Then because he was so wide open, even he saw he could run, and he
Hey,
sprinted.
Rich Adkins coming in with the tier 2, baby. Our first tier 2 member, Rick Adkins. Sorry to interrupt, Dad. I just
Thank
was
you,
excited.
Rick.
I was excited about the T2.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think Baker played good. It'll be interesting to see what his PFF is when they come out with that interception. Without the interception, I think he played very smart, very, very tough. I mean, he went into the locker, ran into the locker. You could see he was holding his left arm down. And then he came right back out like, I'm not going to miss a play. I'm not going to miss a snap. Now, it'd be interesting to see what they did to him in there. Did they give him a shot? Or did they just say, spray it with ice?
I think they gave him a shot.
Yeah, well, he came out like it wasn't hurting. It was still hanging, but it wasn't hurting.
Mids, I don't know. I'm gonna text Schlegel and find out where he is. We might need to get his legal opinion on this. Let me text John and find out. Like, chat is asking.
But you're right, Mike. This is glad it's over. Glad we didn't suffer any more injuries than we did. They obviously suffered more.
Yep.
I'm sure we're going to hear things like Tua going out and other guys getting hurt. We just weren't paying that much attention to the other games. So every week is a battle. Every time you have a battle, you're going to lose some players. I mean, you could get lucky. I was hoping, I said 35-7. We gave up one touchdown to the kid that we could have stopped probably.
Yeah.
And of course, I wasn't counting on Tyrod going out. I wasn't counting on him playing as well as he did in the first half. I mean, he made some nice plays, some nice runs. They had no running game per se, so they had to rely on his arm. But I think we didn't start out with the running game.
That was a mistake.
And it took us a while to get back to it. And it finally came around, which is great. If it doesn't come around, we lose the game. We lose the game to the Texans with a backup quarterback. I mean,
that would have been it would have literally been tragic. And you know what? I was thinking at halftime, it didn't feel good. It really did not feel good. It felt like this could go either way. And then when Tyrod didn't come back at the half,
right,
it was it felt better. Like it felt like I think we're gonna do okay.
well, we got him on a 3-and-out, and then we went down and scored.
Yep.
And we felt comfortable again. Backup quarterback, not going anywhere. They can't run the ball. Our defense is, hanging in there. The offense looks like it can go down the field, give us the ball back again. The kicker was making his kicks. The punts were okay.
Yep.
Felton made a couple of nice plays, runs and catches. So, I mean, yeah, I think I agree with you. I think Felton, he should have a pretty high PFF score too, as well, I think. So
Yeah.
Be interesting to look at those and start to compare them from one week. I was happy to see Delpit get that sack. He almost had an interception, I think, at one point as well. So he's back. I didn't hear Greedy's number called once. Did you?
I did not. Greedy Williams did, and he did not show up on the stat sheet either.
Right.
So
He was a non-factor.
One sack today. Grant Delpit was the one sack.
Right.
One interception, Malcolm Smith.
Right.
And then Ronnie Harrison had 5 tackles, so he was kind of the top of the production sheet. Nick Chubb with a tackle as well.
Right.
Yeah, and Felton actually had a pretty decent, kick returns as well. He had 2 kick returns, 41 yards, averaging 20.5. That's not bad.
No, not bad at all.
The Texans, that's Davis Mills. Davis Mills goes 8 for 18, 102 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So, but Tyrod, at the point where he went out, he was 10 for 11, very efficient, 125 and a touchdown, and a 15-yard rushing touchdown.
Absolutely no pressure.
Joe
was
Woods
put on him.
Joe Woods just doesn't. He just plays the soft prevent. And somebody was saying, I think Mills or somebody was saying it in the chat. He just plays. He coaches scared. Oh, Cleveland BCI. Joe Woods coaches scared. And I don't know if that is Joe Wood. It's almost like Joe Woods is coaching against Stefanski. Like, I'm going to make it harder for you, coach. I'm going to make you have to go down and score.
Oh, I think he's making it like, I'm not going to lose the game. You win it with offense, and I will try not to lose it on defense. I mean, that seems to be the way the first 2 games have gone. It'll be interesting to see who's Chicago's quarterback.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah, so I mean, we've seen him before. We know what he can do. He's not a scrambler. Put some pressure on the guy. Put your hands in his face.
Justin Fields played a significant amount today. He was 6 of 13, 60 yards and an interception.
Right.
But he carried the ball 10 times for 31 yards.
Wow.
So Justin Fields played.
Right.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that recap because that's a lot of production for a backup guy there.
Yeah, we could see a lot of him next week, and if we do, I hope you're prepared for it because that's the type of guy that can burn you. He's got better legs than Tyrod.
Gary, everybody's saying in chat that Dalton got hurt, so it is going to be Fields' time.
Oh wow! Okay.
Joe Burrow throws 3 interceptions today. 19 for 30, 207, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. But you know what? You know who's going to get the criticism this week? Baker Mayfield going 19 for 21, a rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown, and 1 interception. And Baker's going to be the guy that the media criticizes, which is going to be just disgusting. How efficient
he uses it for motivation to get better, correct the mistakes, and move on. We never said he was a Hall of Famer, at this point in his career. He's got a lot to learn, got a lot to play, plays with heart, plays hard, plays tough. I like him. I hope he stays our quarterback for a long time. I'm not looking to replace him.
I just hope he's not hurt. I hope he's not like severely hurt. We got Restano is here. Hold on, let me Restano is in the house. I'm going to remove the
He's
pin.
sober?
And hold on, let me go to my grid view. There we go. Hold on 1 second, Mike. Give me a second so I can bring you in here.
There he is.
I'm just going to shrink up my window a little bit just so I can see you.
Mike, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Where are you right now?
Well, I'll give you a little. Hold on, my credit card while here's bugging. Beautiful breeze off the lake I'm getting right now. So I'm literally. Hold on.
Nice shot.
Right outside the stadium?
Right outside the stadium, you can see my lovely wife right over there. Laura, wave. Laura.
Laura?
Can't hear me.
Laura? No.
Yes, you can't hear me. Laura.
Let's get some Restano. Let's get some Restano emojis up in the chat, please. So, Mike, what were your thoughts on the game?
probably the hottest football game I've ever. Still melting a little bit. I'm trying to get cooled down, but I don't know. I just
Talk
I
a
don't
little
know
bit
about-
closer to your phone.
Is that better?
A little
Yeah.
bit better.
Yeah, I'm trying. There's a whole bunch of noise. You'll probably lose me video wise, but I'll get a little close here. But Tyrod Taylor going out early, only winning by 10. I mean, one sack on the defensive side of the ball. I'm still, everybody talks about, give Joe Wood some time. It's a new defense, etc. I was hoping that we'd see a little bit more progress this week. I don't know. After I go back and watch it, maybe I'll see something different. But the only thing that really impressed me today was I thought Delpit played well.
Right.
I thought Denzel had an off game. Newsom had that one bad pass interference call, but other than that, I thought he played a solid game. The defensive line, I don't know where they were all day, but that's my take on the defensive side of the ball. And then on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, again, that's it was rough sledding, and I don't want to. Let's put it this way: if you didn't have Chubb, Hunt, and obviously Felton now because he played a big role today, and you have to put the ball in Baker's hands with a mediocre run game, I'm probably leaving here disappointed today. So I don't know. Jarvis going out early was tough. Couple that with no OBJ. We don't know how serious Jarvis is, but I mean, we'll see. It was lackluster. I'll say that. I expected more out of both sides of the ball, but
Right. Me
we'll
too.
take it.
Me too.
Yeah. So,
Mike-
but I
Mike-
guess
Mike,
Yeah,
it's getting a little windy. It's getting a little
Yes,
windy audio wise. Would you mind if are you heading back to your hotel?
yeah.
Would you mind just if we're still live? Would you see if you can hop back on if you can maybe get back to the hotel?
Yeah, that works. It's pretty windy and loud and stuff. I just wanted to make sure I checked in with you guys to say hi, hello to everybody in the chat.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
I'll try and hop back on when we get to the hotel. If not, obviously, I've got a lot to say come Wednesday night.
Excellent. All right, thanks, Mike. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey,
All
Mike.
right, good seeing you too. See you guys.
See ya. Okay, yeah. I mean, I would have loved to hear what Mike had to say. It just got a little bit windy there, which made it a little bit tough to hear. But yeah, I want to. This Wednesday, we're definitely gonna hear more about that. John Schlegel with a super chat came in. Ugly wins need loving too. Appreciate that. Yeah, guys. I mean, it was. What I want to know honestly is how was the fans in the stadium? How did they feel about what was going on? Because like watching from home, and I think Dad, you'd agree that it was an odd feeling game. It started feeling more comfortable. Obviously, when the second half started, it started feeling more comfortable right away. But man, that beginning
every time
of the
we
game,
made a good play and something positive happened, we get something to cheer about. They came right back and stuffed it on us. They made it 7-7. Then they turned it around and made it 14-7. Then
Right.
the crowd is out of it. They're not in it. And luckily, we got that touchdown before the half and made it 14-14. The fans got back into it. And, 3 and out and then score a touchdown. That's a good way to start the second half. So that went in our direction. But the fans could have been more of a factor, but they weren't because they were being ping pong back and forth.
Mids plug said, I thought the first energy was roaring today. We got energy deflated halfway through. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about like emotional crowds like that, you get going, but then you can get silenced really quickly if you're not performing well.
Sure.
I think the big play when Felton took that screen pass and went in for the touchdown, I think that was kind of all we needed to really come alive. Right?
I would have loved to have been in Pittsburgh when Derek Carr threw that 70-yard touchdown to put them up by more than 2 scores in the fourth quarter. I'll bet you could have heard a pin drop in that stadium.
Oh, sure. I'm actually looking at the box score right now on the Steelers game.
Mhm.
26-17 Raiders. And Roethlisberger was 27 for 40.
Okay, not bad.
I mean, not good though. 27 for 40,
What yardage?
295, one touchdown, one interception, and I mean that's asking Ben Roethlisberger to throw 40 times is not going to be a rest. They can't run the ball. Najee Harris 10 carries, 38 yards.
Wow.
Juju Smith-Schuster 1 carry, 3 yards and a touchdown. So they must have done some sort of like weird sweep thing. Benny Snell 2 carries, 1 yard. Chase Claypool 1 carry, -3 yards. The Steelers can't run the ball.
Right.
That is the
Well,
problem. That is the problem with the Steelers right now.
I picked the Raiders last week. They got the upset at the end, and now I picked the Raiders this week. They get the upset because I'm sure they were not favored in Pittsburgh, and so it's a long season. You got to try to get through as best you can, which we did today, and it's you win one, you lose one, you win one. Just don't lose the ones you're supposed to win. Play tough on the other ones and hope that you win a couple of those, and we'll be right in it. After who would have predicted after week one, our division would be one and one, all of them.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Baltimore could be 0-2.
Right?
So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's not a guarantee. Yeah, it's true. They could be 0-2, and who would have thought of that too? Two tough opponents, and they may lose both games. So it's going to be a long season. Teams that you think are not doing very good, as long as they don't lose players like Jackson or like Houston did today. If they lose close games, that maybe they'll turn it around in a game or two and put pressure on their in division rivals and whatnot. But by week 4, if you haven't turned it around, your playoff chances are starting to really fade at that point. So
Sure.
I'm glad we got the win. I'm glad we're 1-1. I'm glad we got a team like the Bears next week, tough but beatable at home. A week to rest up, a week to come up with a game plan that's going to work. Like you said with Mike, a lot to talk about on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And we'll have a lot to talk about Bears game next week as well.
Yeah, so we got Bears and we got Vikings. Vikings right now have scored 14 points on 2 Kirk Cousins touchdowns to start off this game against the Cardinals. So the Vikings are one of those teams that are kind of scary too. They can score a lot of points.
They're sort of like Atlanta last year, where you pick them to win and they lose, and you pick them to lose and they win. They just turn it around. So it'll be interesting if the Cardinals lay down with that defense and they score nothing on the offensive side. I picked the Cardinals. That'll be a loss for me.
They scored one so far. One Kyler Murray touchdown pass to DeAndre Hopkins. So
good.
They're in there. But my point is, I think that the Vikings are a pretty good offense, and our Achilles heel this year is going to be our defense, 100%. Unless Joe Woods, I just can't imagine Joe Woods goes into his defensive scheming, and he's like, you know what, we're just going to play soft. We're just going to play soft zone, and that's it, and that's going to be our strategy to win.
Got to be some pushback.
I just can't believe.
And you're not going to see it from those reporters in that press conference afterwards. They're going to be nicey nice with the who's hurt,
Sure.
and nice win and this and that and the other thing. And they're not going to press them on things like that. Did we throw a screen pass at all in the game?
Oh, we threw a bunch. Yeah.
Did we? Okay.
Tight end screens. We threw the screen pass to Felton was a touchdown.
I was looking more for Hunt and Chubb to, classic throw it, really a screen pass, not so much out in the flat, but, just let the defender get past you and then you flip it over his head and you go. Because those guys are dangerous in the open field, Chubb and Hunt. I mean, look how many guys they made miss after they caught the ball. they're a tandem that's to be reckoned with as long as they stay healthy going through the year.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, just today, Baker coming back, out of the locker room from whatever injury he had was huge. Him going 19 for 21 with a touchdown pass and a rushing touchdown was huge. Nick Chubb goes for 95 yards. He averages 8.6 yards a carry today with that big touchdown that kind of sealed the deal. And
Turnovers, did we win that? 3-2, 4-2?
stats, interceptions was 1-1. I don't have the actual turnovers. I think I have to go back because they had the muff punt, but we had the fumble from DPJ,
Right.
and then interception was 1-1. Oh, fumbles lost 1-1, so it was equal. Penalties, they were penalized a lot more than us. They had 9 for 78. We were 5 for 62. They punted 4 times. We punted twice. We allowed 2 sacks. They allowed 1. Only that Grant Delpit. So far this season, Myles Garrett, and I think somebody was saying in chat, has been a little bit pedestrian. I don't know if they're double teaming him. I don't know if he's winded. I don't know what the situation is. But actually, I do know he's double teamed. I watch Myles Garrett significantly on defense, and he is double teamed quite a bit. But so far this season, we've given up 21 points and 33 points. So we have not put on a defensive game yet. And that's the challenge here. I think we can score. We scored 29 and then 31. We can score points, guys. We can score points. We just need a defense who can stop anything, because we're not going to get gifts like we got today. Today was a gift.
What was the third down conversion for them, Mike, in the box score?
They were 7 for 13. We were 4 for 9.
Yeah.
Nobody went for it on 4th down.
Right.
And then, from a Texans perspective, they missed the 1 field goal.
Right.
Which was
That would
kind
have
of
made it interesting too.
It would have made it interesting at the end because they would have had that, they would have been able to onside kick it, right? But for all intents and purposes, it was probably game over anyway.
Right.
Really, we held them to running. I mean, Mark Ingram was held to an average of 2.9 yards, carried the ball 14 times for 41 yards. That's a pretty standard game for Mark Ingram throughout his career. David Johnson, 6 for 25 yards. And receiving wise, the guy Brandon Cooks, if he would have caught that one because he was open, if he would have caught that, it would have been scary. But he had 9 catches for 78 yards.
Oh, okay.
That was a big
Way
deal.
too much time. Way too much time for Taylor. Got rid of the ball quick. He wasn't standing in the pocket.
Yeah.
The kid obviously had to try to figure out what the hell was in front of him. First time out there, so he stood there a lot and got killed by Delpit on his right side. So I don't know where his peripheral vision was, but it was like he got blindsided from the other side.
Yeah.
How he could not see him coming out of the corner of his eye is beyond me. I mean, that's a rookie mistake. He's so focused downfield, he forgets what's on either side of him, doesn't feel the pressure, and then he could have got hurt on that play. I mean, that's how hard and straight, and Delpit pulled up. He didn't try to crush him per se, just had a real good hit on him, fumbled. And of course there's no Brown around. So the lineman picks it up and they keep the ball, but that would have been a great turnover and a great sack.
Yeah, absolutely. And, just to see Grant Delpit come back and his first game, this is the reality, is his first game as a Brown, and he played well. Greg Newsome played pretty well as well. Other than that one pass interference play, he had a big pass breakup when it mattered,
Right.
which was huge, right?
Right.
So that was a big deal. And JOK looked like he did pretty well today as well. So the PFF scores are going to be real interesting.
Yeah,
So
we did not throw it deep once, I don't think, on our side. Baker, when he when he did drop back, 7 steps, he held on to the ball a couple times. He ran with it, which was great.
Yep.
To not throw a bad interception. But we didn't have that wide open guy that catches it, 5 yards past the defender and waltzes into the end zone. None of our guys could. I don't know what defense they were calling, but obviously it kept everything in front of them, and we were able to move the ball, but no quick touchdowns. It was a little disappointing, especially when you got a speedster like Schwartz out there that you can at least try. Make them defend it, make them worry about it a little bit. But they didn't try it at all. And when Baker held on to it too long, he made bad decisions and went down. He was sacked at least a couple of times, I think.
Yes, sacks. Well, we had 2 official sacks. 2 official sacks. And he got away from a couple, but Baker's going to be sore.
Yeah.
He's going to be sore this week because when that shot wears off, I hope they have him in an ice bath or wrapped immediately. I hope, they have whatever is hurting him, whether it's a neck or shoulder. I mean, like Lindsay, like my wife was saying, he could have separated that shoulder and they popped it in and then just gave him a shot. It's very possible that they did that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You run a risk when you do that to your star quarterback. That's for sure. In the middle of a game.
Absolutely.
Casey Keenum is not that bad. Casey Keenum could have come in and swept up.
Case Keenum could have done what Baker did in the second half, just hand the ball off and do little dump passes all day. He could have done that. Yeah. I mean, there's very few quarterbacks who couldn't just hand off to Chubb and Hunt and just let the offensive line. I think my favorite play of the game, other than the big plays, but my favorite basic play of the game was the one where Hunt was running to the right side and kind of got stuffed, and J.C. Treader took him and just kind of sprung him forward, pushed him for 4 more yards.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I mean that was awesome. So that was a lot of fun.
That'll be a highlight, I think, in the film room when the guys go over that one and say, "Hey, here, if you can't run, I'll throw you forward."
Yeah, absolutely right. So I mean, that's a big win for the offense. The offensive line literally got yards today.
I will bet that the PFFs on the offensive line will be very good. They seem to play well, and no mistakes. So that's one really good thing coming out of this game. Nobody hurt, and they played well, and we'll see that in the PFFs on Wednesday.
Yeah. Mids Plug says, I saw a hot take earlier. Someone said, let Greg Williams coach this defense.
Yeah.
I mean,
we need somebody a little bit more aggressive than Joe Woods. Stefanski doesn't.
Jonathan Schlegel coming in with the super fan, which he's actually just moving his Patreon over from Patreon over here to YouTube. But Jonathan Schlegel, Schlegel Law, it appears right there. There you go, Schlegel Law. Anybody in the greater Columbus, Ohio, and Schlegel is also the founder of dogwoofs.com. So, John, I'm making sure I actually have this in a list, but I got to make sure that I update my bottom ticker for the Wednesday show. But John, thank you very much for being a business tier member of the Brownie Postgame family. But yeah, Dad, sorry to interrupt. That was an exciting thing. Yeah, I mean, and hopefully Rustano will be able to join back a little bit later, as I'm genuinely interested in his takes. I mean, obviously we're going to have a lot to talk about on the Wednesday show. Does
he go back again next week, Mike, for the Chicago game, or is that just one game for him?
No, I'm not sure if he's going back for Chicago. I think he might be selling those tickets. Okay. But you know what? Because it's so early in the season, I could see him and his wife going to the game. But I'm not a hundo on that. So we'll have to ask him. I think he's going. If I had to bet, I'd say he's going to the Chicago game as well. We were looking for him in the crowd when they were panned to the crowd. We're like, "Where's Rustano? Do we see him?" Yeah, but I mean, really, I feel good now. Now that more time has gone by, I do feel good about about the win, right? So I don't mean to poo-poo the win, right? A win is a win in the NFL, and it feels good, but man, it was just, I felt a little tense during the game because the expectation was we were going to take care of the Texans easily, like maybe score 40 plus points on them, and it just didn't work out that way. Again, when when DPJ fumbled, we were going in to score again. That wasn't like he fumbled and it was third down on our side of the field. Like, we were going to score. That was down around the red zone. Right. So those are points that come off the board, when those kind of plays happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Both ways. And we didn't get burned in the turnover ratio. That was good. Took advantage when we could. To give that kid that scoring touchdown when we were up 24-10, that hurt a little bit. They should have dialed up the pressure earlier. He would have folded. And he's a rookie. What do you expect? But we didn't do it. We let him come down, and we let him throw little dumps, and then we had a 15-yard face mask penalty or whatever.
Yeah.
It just, before you know it, you gave up 30 yards and they're knocking at the door. So.
Yeah. I mean, again, I feel like this one we kind of survived this game more than we won it. Right? Shoot the thrill says Greedy needs to relocate. Yeah. Greedy is MIA. I don't know. Mac Wilson frustrates me when I see him out there getting faked on that Phillip Lindsay play. Mac Wilson, who is, playing right in the middle of the defense, he's faked out of his mind on the play action, right? And they came right back to Phillip Lindsay, dumped it off, and my God, I mean, he was gone, right? Those are the frustrating pieces that I'm like, come on, defense, come on.
Yeah, we didn't tackle very well. There were a couple of plays where their running back or whoever caught the ball bounced off 2 or 3 of our players, right, and they made it to a first down. Which you think if any of those 3 guys do their job, he doesn't make the first down. But no, give the kid, whoever it was, credit. He ran like Chubb and he pushed them off, and our guys fell off like flies. And luckily, it didn't hurt us, but it's just not. They're not going to look good in the film room when they go over those types of plays. They're going to see that they did not do their job at what could have been crucial points. Get us off the field and turn the ball back to the offense. Yep. Even if we have to kick a field goal, I mean, just get it back to the offense.
Let's do the giveaway. We got right about 100 viewers in chat right now. Type in chat, type the number 1 to 100 right now. Only type in one number, number 1 to 100, and if you guess the number or are closest to it, you'll win a free T-shirt from Sabo Apparel. So please type in your number now, and good luck to everybody in the chat. I'm just frustrated with this. I'm frustrated with Joe Woods. I am. I think everybody should feel a little. Should feel a little bit uneasy because we have the talent, right? But in the beginning,
he's got the experience. He knows what he's doing. It's just you have to sit there and shake your head and say why, and we're not going to get the answers unless some of those reporters step up and Woods does a press interview, or Stefanski takes hard questions. Yeah. Give the fans a sense of what the hell is going on behind the scenes when this type of thing, because we're looking at it. I mean, even the announcers, they couldn't even see that Tyrod was hurt. They couldn't figure out what play he was hurt on or why he was hurt. And I picked it out, just watching on TV. Yeah. So the fans have a unique perspective of watching the games on TV like we do and saying, why are they doing that? And we need answers.
Yeah. I mean, I I think that this team, once we run into a buzzsaw type offense like the Vikings have, the Vikings are now up 20-7
Ooh.
over the Cardinals. Now 3 Kirk Cousins touchdown passes.
Well, that's why they gave him all that money for this game, I guess. I don't
I
know.
guess so. I mean, Kirk Cousins is one of those guys, though, that on the stat sheet can be disgusting with what he can do. But he also, has those boneheaded plays as well.
Right.
That really frustrates everybody. But
Well, their defense must be playing pretty good because they're holding the Cardinals to like 7 points.
Kirk Cousins reminds me of, there's always in every generation, there's one quarterback who's like this, who's got a monster arm and a lot of talent, can throw 500 yards, can throw 5 touchdowns, but also throw 4 interceptions the same game and lose. When I was growing up, that guy was Jeff George, right?
Yeah, I remember. He had a rocket for an arm.
Yeah, Jeff George was that guy. And, in this season, and then it became Jay Cutler. Remember Jay Cutler? He was that guy who had a big arm.
He reminded me a little bit of Baker, a gutsy, tough, in your face, run, get up when you get whacked, win some ball games, lose some ball games. But Cutler would always impress me as a little bit too cocky out there and make too many bad plays at critical points in games, and that's what was his downfall.
Right. And then we've got, Kirk Cousins now, who, I mean, he's going to be interesting to play against because our defense is so damn soft. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Fields, I can see Justin Fields going off on us as well because he's got a good arm, he's accurate, and he can run. It is like Justin Fields could have a very good game against us as well. All right. The number that I had was 35. So let's take a look. 55. Mark Schoen with a 31. Steve Z with a 32. Keith C with a 32. Derek Jones with a 36. Jackie Haynes with a 37. It looks like the winner is Derek Jones.
Nice.
Derek Jones, Patreon guy. Derek Jones is the winner. Derek, send me an email, browniepostgame.com, browniepostgame@gmail.com with your size, with your t-shirt and your address from Sabo Apparel, and we'll get that out to you. So,
Great.
Yeah, very, very good. Well, hey guys, we're going to wrap this one up. Really good post-game show. Been at it for an hour. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Sabo Apparel, Schlegel Law, dogwoofs.com, Thrive Fantasy. Guys, go ahead and sign up for Thrive Fantasy. I'm not a big sports bettor myself, but I might dabble in it just because I want to help out Thrive. They're a startup and they're a lot of fun. Good guys over there. And we got our first win of the year. Right?
Yay.
So it feels good, right? It feels good to win.
It does.
So, all right, guys. Well, we're going to leave it at that. And thank you very much for being here. And we'll see you on Wednesday, 7 p.m. See you then. Go Browns.
Go Brownies.